ever in civilization.
Okay. Guys, we're starting live stream, but I should probably go to an English channel. Hold on. This is historic. Oh man, but they're very, very close. It means they're not close. It means there's no deal tonight. We got all excited for nothing. Where's the remote? Where's the remote? That's it. We have to talk louder. Want it louder? No, don't put it louder. But get me the
I can't find the remote.
that thing to put this on. Okay, what are we talking about? We're talking about possibly the end to the war here.
That would be great.
Yep, that would be great. Let's see what Trump is saying right now.
Because they're going to make a little mistake.
Expansion of the Abraham Accords.
Ooh.
And most importantly, we discussed how to end the war in Gaza, but it's just a part of the bigger picture, which is peace in the Middle East.
Okay, all right. So Trump is talking right now, and he's talking about not just ending the war in Gaza, but peace in the Middle East and expansion of the Abraham Accords.
The level of support that I've had from the nations in the Middle East.
So he's got Netanyahu right now at the White House, and they've been meeting all day.
This afternoon, after extensive
Let's see, after extensive consultation today.
Formally releasing our principles for peace, which
all right, so maybe he's going to be talking about the 21-point plan that has come out. I don't know if you guys heard about it.
Total consideration.
I need a remote.
Nations that we're talking about, all of these nations have made contributions to those suggestions.
So this comes on the heels of the United Nations General Assembly, where all of all countries were gathered and all met with Trump somehow or another. Israel also met with some, they met with, I think there were conversations with Syria. So there was a lot of stuff going on, and so this is all coming up right after. Netanyahu didn't even come back to Israel; he stayed in the U.S. For this. Oh, good. Kim caught me live. Go ahead, Kim, hit me up. Kim, I just sat down today for the first time. Remember we said we're going to try to meet up yesterday? That was going to be impossible. All right, guys, I'm still looking for my remote. Here. There you go. I'll be back.
So many countries, Saudi Arabia as an example, the king.
I was sitting on it.
The Emir of Qatar, who's incredible people.
He's talking about people he met with, so Qatar, UAE, MBZ and ABC is true, is what they say. Saudi Arabia. By the way, let me tell you, I'm keeping one ear on the president and while I'm talking, but there's some things I wanted to tell you here. So this agreement, if it happens, so they're talking about end of war with Gaza. They're talking about release of all 48 hostages right away. They're talking about Israel doing what it didn't want to do, which was retreating from Gaza. But there would be a buffer zone, and there would be the demilitarization of Hamas and removing them from the Gaza Strip somehow or another. And also the big news right now that just absolutely captivated the Israeli media in the last hour or two is that there are reports that Netanyahu had to apologize to Qatar and to promise never to bomb them again. And I was like, this sounds like when you have a dispute in kindergarten, this is how you solve it. You say, oh, okay, kids, now apologize and promise not to hit each other again. And I was like, really? Is this really what they're talking about at the White House? Like, he had to phone Qatar and say, all right, guys, sorry. And like, really? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, should he be sorry? Well, maybe he should be sorry. Maybe he shouldn't. It depends on your politics. But is that really like a news story? Like, do they really call each other and apologize? Like, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to send jets like this, far away, thousands of kilometers, whatever away, and bomb, precisely target people in your country. All right, so.
I hate even saying this from the standpoint, doesn't sound right, but it is so important to the parents, the bodies of the young men.
All right, so he's talking about the release of the hostages within 72 hours of the deal. I don't know if that means the deal has been made yet.
The body of their dead boy.
This was really built up a lot in the media today. Yeah, Lucas, hold on. Reflections. Yes, Lucas. My God. Jacob, you don't have to say you're sorry. Jacob, see you tomorrow, right? I hope. Well, it doesn't have to be exactly tomorrow, but be forewarned. You will be getting messages tomorrow. We've just been running nonstop until now. Literally now. And actually, I should be doing other things like cleaning and packing, but this is way more fun. Okay. Here we go. He's talking about demilitarizing Hamas. And so he named a bunch of countries, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, that it looks like are going to have influence in the Gaza Strip. Does that mean that the Palestinian Authority is not going to?
Production facilities, they have a lot of production facilities that would destroy. They'll also help train local police forces.
We can turn it to here a little bit. I think this is public TV, so I can, although I don't know, for some reason my camera's on this blur. Let me try to get that off.
All parties will agree on a timeline for Israeli forces to
don't know how to do it, sorry.
In phases of withdrawing in phases.
Okay, he's talking about Israeli military withdrawing in phases from parts of Gaza.
These goals, Arab and Muslim nations need to be allowed the chance to fulfill these commitments of dealing with Hamas. They have to deal with them because they were the one group that we have not dealt with. I haven't dealt with them. But the Arab countries are going to, and Muslim countries are going to be.
The Arab countries are going to deal with Hamas.
I think they probably have an understanding.
That is interesting. Hey, Daniel, you can come out if you want.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone as far as they've gone.
No, he closed the door.
If they were unable to do so, then Israel would have the absolute right and actually our full backing, the U.S.
All right, so caveat.
A lot of our leaders are here, our great vice president.
Caveat that if they don't, quote, deal with Hamas, that Israel will be able to. With the full backing.
Everybody else could have done it, or even come
of the U.S.
We're right there. We're right there the first time in thousands of years.
Does Trump seem tired to you guys? Like, this isn't his usual victory speech. Like, I just made a deal. He's like very muted, mellow.
Threat of Hamas, but I hope that we're going to have a deal for peace.
So again, he said, I hope that we're going to have a deal for peace, which means that this is not the announcement of a deal right now. He's saying that Hamas has not fully accepted it. And that is exactly what the Israeli hostages' families have been saying. Like, we've been down this road before, that a deal is imminent. Don't get our hopes up. We know how it ends. 724 days have ended in disappointment.
And this is, again, something that we're looking for. This is eternity. This
Says
is for
terror needs to
for
end. This peace
to
deal
ensure
would
the
be
success of this
forever.
effort. My plan
Um,
calls for the creation
So
of
his
a
plan
new
calls for the
international
creation
oversight
of an
body, the Board
international
of Peace. We
oversight
call it the
body
Board of Peace. What a
of,
beautiful
I
name.
think
The
he's going
Board
to say Gaza Strip,
of
called the
Peace, which
Board
will
of
be
Peace.
headed not at my request, believe me, I'm very busy. But we have to make sure this works.
It's not going to be headed by the U.S., I guess,
The
or at
leaders
least
of
not
the
by
Arab
Trump.
world,
The leaders of the Arab
Israel,
world.
and everybody involved asked me to do this, so we'll be headed by a gentleman known as President Donald J. Trump of the United States. That's what I want this some extra work to do, but it's so important that I'm willing to do it.
So he's going to,
And we'll do it right.
he
And
is
we'll
going to
put
head it
leaders
up.
from other countries on, leaders that are very distinguished leaders. And we'll have a board, and one of the people that wants to be on the board.
He thinks
is
he's
the
going to get a
UK former Prime
positive
Minister,
response
Tony
from
Blair.
Hamas, by the way.
Very good
Tony
man.
Blair's back in the picture.
Some others.
Tony Blair,
They'll be
former
there
Prime
over the
Minister of
next
the
few
UK,
days.
who
And it'll be
is
quite the board.
involved in the quartet
Working, everybody
that
wants to be
was
on
really
that board.
working on
They love it, and they did the deal.
negotiating
They
the
need me,
Israeli-Palestinian
everybody else
conflict
wanted to
many
be there,
years
and I
ago.
guess
But he's
they think,
still
well, he's a
been
soft
involved,
touch. He'll be
actually.
easy to deal with. Working with the World Bank
But
and
he's
others,
now in
I'll be
this.
responsible for recruiting and training a new government that will be made up
Okay,
of Palestinians along
a
with
new
highly qualified
Palestinian
experts from all
government. You know
around
what
the
this
world.
means?
Hamas and other terrorist
Palestinian
factions
state,
will play
probably.
no role in the board, but they'll
He
play
says, okay,
no
he had
role in
said
the governance
Hamas
of
may
Gaza
reject the
at all,
deal, but I have
directly
a
or
feeling
indirectly.
that
As
this time it's
you know,
going to
thousands
happen.
of Hamas
But we're still waiting for Hamas.
leaders have been
Oh my gosh,
killed,
Emily.
and
Hey,
foot
Emily, you ran
soldiers have
into
been killed,
Blair at the, yes,
and
at
we're
the
trying to
American
get
Colony
October
Hotel.
7th,
I
but
remember that.
thousands have paid the price for that.
That's right.
And now it's time to get our hostages back and
All
get
right.
back to
So he's saying it's time to
trying to
get
build
our
something
hostages
that's really
back.
great and very important. You know, we need to,
He
Prime
said
Minister
thousands have
Netanyahu
paid the
very
price
clear
for
about his
this.
opposition to a Palestinian state.
I told you
And
Netanyahu
he
apologized to Qatar.
continuously mentions October
It's
7th.
like still in the
and I
news.
understand
It's like
that.
the biggest
Most
thing
people
in the
do.
Israeli news in the last
And I
hour. Like,
understand and respect his position on many things, but what he's doing today is so good for Israel. I noticed that they have large crowds gathering in Israel all the time, and they have my name up. They like me for whatever reason, Bibi, I don't know, but they do like me.
so this is really funny. He's saying
They say two
that
things. Please get the
Netanyahu's
hostages
doing a
back
lot of
and
good for
please
Israel,
end
but
the
I
war.
see that they gather in large crowds a lot, and they're always talking about me and have my picture and mention my name. Yes, actually, because it's usually like the anti-Israeli government, what do you call it, protest, and they're petitioning, they're bypassing their own government and saying, President Trump, only you can save us.
Foolishly recognize the Palestinian state, as you know.
Okay, many people have recognized, many countries have recognized the Palestinian state.
They're very tired of what's going on for so many decades. They've been presidents and prime ministers for years, and during this time, having to do with the Middle East, all they're doing is talking about the same thing over and over. They want to see it get back, and nobody wants that more than me or.
All right, so he said, okay, so many
people of Israel want it. They really want it. They want the hostages
states
back.
have recognized Palestinians, or many countries recognize the Palestinian state. The Israelis want peace. They want the hostages back.
32 or so people that are dead.
He's putting out numbers. He said 32 people,
So
hostages
dead.
dead.
We got here. Hamas was elected by the Palestinian people. Israel withdrew from Gaza thinking they would.
So he's also saying Hamas was elected by the Palestinian people in Gaza, yes, in 2007, or 2006 maybe, but yeah, Hamas won. Now, mind you, Hamas back then in the Gaza Strip was also very involved in like humanitarian work, social work, stuff like that. So they and people were tired of of Fatah, which is the dominant party in the West Bank. So that's why Gaza went one direction and the West Bank went another. there haven't been elections in either the West Bank or the Gaza Strip. So there's two very distinct, different Palestinian governments. A lot of people like to say, well, you tried a Palestinian state, Gaza. How did that work out for you? But actually, that's like trying the Islamic regime, in Iran. People didn't really, vote for them or want them. I mean, maybe some people wanted Hamas, but back then I think they were popular, but now you can't tell.
Terrible, terrible way to have to fight. No fight is good, but that's a real bad one. So there are
All right, he's calling the war right now a real bad one.
to live in peace, many.
The Palestinian health ministry in Gaza says about, I think it's like 65,000 people killed in Gaza. That's of a population of 2 million.
With their destiny, fully condemn and prohibit terrorism and earn their way to a brighter future. They don't want the lives that they've had.
All right, so he's saying the Palestinians don't want the lives that they have. They want a better, brighter future. They want the hope of a better future. Ooh, breaking news on the Armenian property angle as well. It's like ADHD of headlines right now. We'll stick with this for now.
What the future holds for the Palestinians, no one really knows, but the plan that we put forward today is focused on...
All right, again, this is a plan being put forward. This is not a deal being announced. This is a big difference of what we were expecting all day with the buildup, and it could all go to pot. So I am sorry to have joined the tizzy of this lather of like news and headlines and everything and clickbait headlines and, thinking, 24/7 news cycle that, oh, we're going to have a deal. The war is going to be over. The hostages are going to be back by Yom Kippur. So they don't have to fast, I would guess, if they did get back on Yom Kippur. But it looks like we are not looking at a signed deal at the moment. So it was a lot of much ado about nothing. Not nothing, but nothing definitive right now. This is the closest now. All right, what I have heard the Israeli commentators saying is that the key to this deal, if the Trump deal, what he's talking about is going to go through, the key is to have Qatar on board. Now, that is why the speculation goes, Netanyahu had to say he was sorry for striking the capital there. So because Qatar can control Hamas, they have been the not beneficiaries, the ones giving the money to Hamas in Gaza for the last several years. They are hosting them in Doha, the capital. They've got some of the top Hamas leaders over there. And so the commentators are saying that you need Qatar on board in order to get Hamas to realize it needs to take the deal. Now, you look at all the countries, if what he's saying is true, and also Turkey, which has been a very distinctly anti-Israel stance during this war. Even Erdogan said the other day that he's working on a deal with Trump. So let's say Turkey's involved. You also have Saudi Arabia. You have Qatar. They said the United Arab Emirates. I mean, if you got all of these Arab Muslim countries exerting pressure on Hamas, then it's possible that we will see them have to take a deal or fold to take deal. Okay. The hostages' families put out a statement after the announcement of Trump. It's like for such a time as this, they said. I don't know the exact translation in English. Like we arrived for such a time as this, more or less, is what they said.
You've done it. I said, done what? You made the capital of Israel, Jerusalem, and we wanted to
Now he's
talk
talking about his
I
accomplishments
wish I'd
regarding
maybe I could have done something
in his
about
previous
some things that I
presidency
did
that he was
that need to
he
document.
moved the
Because I knew they
embassy,
were
the
part of
American
it,
embassy
and you
from
know, it
Tel
turned out
Aviv
to be
to
amazing.
Jerusalem,
Everybody thought
which
it was
he,
going to lead to the end
and
of the
he's saying,
world,
yeah,
right? The end of the world, Ron. That's
everybody
what they
thought it
said.
was going to lead to the end of the
It didn't
world,
lead to
but
anything.
nothing happened.
It just led to something that I promised and something that was
It was just
very,
something he
very
promised, he
popular
said.
for Jewish people and a lot of other people too. I recognize Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights, and I cut taxpayer funding to the corrupt United Nations Relief and Works Agency. And United Nations was interesting because, as you know, a few days
Sorry,
ago,
I'm
they
looking for more
introduced
news
me, ladies and
here.
gentlemen, the President of the United States. I'm looking at my teleprompter, and the thing was dead, so cold, dead.
And now he's talking about the UN where this teleprompter didn't work.
I'm back 30 feet.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm saying,
He said, actually, he said, I believe that also Iran will be in a specific step, in a specific stage in the future, will also be part of the Abraham Accords. Do you guys know about the Abraham Accords? It's about, is it 3 years since then? Something like that. It's around this time, September. There's a lot of anniversaries right around now, not the least of which coming up is October 7th, but the year of Nasrallah's assassination by Israel, and they got him in his bunker in Beirut. There was also, I mean, right before 2 years, it was 2 years ago that all the Armenians living in Artsakh or Nagorno-Karabakh were at the end of a 10-month siege, came under attack and all fled that enclave there into Armenia proper. On the way out, Azerbaijan arrested and took several prisoners of war. So that was exactly this time 2 years ago. It was the big news until October 7th happened.
And the people of the Middle East want it. The people of,
All right. So Netanyahu's looking on.
but they don't have really.
This is a really low key. Like this is a low key Trump. I don't know. What do you guys think? I want to hear some comments on this. Where you think this is going? In the meantime, as well, I'm going to read a little bit of the leaked 21-day plan. It was leaked to several different outlets in the last couple days, which that's how you knew it was coming when they leak it to a lot of people. It's like they were floating it. So let's see. Tell you some of the points. Gaza will be de-radicalized, terror-free zone that does not pose a threat to its neighbors. Number 2, Gaza will be redeveloped for the benefit of its people. Number 3, if Israel and Hamas agree to the proposal, the war will immediately end, with the IDF halting all operations and gradually withdrawing from the Strip. Within 48 hours of Israel publicly accepting the deal, all living and deceased hostages will be returned. Okay, so of the hostages, there's 48 hostages, and there are at least 20 are known to be alive or had been alive. But anyway, Hamas said the other day that it lost contact with 2 hostages after the last Israeli bombing in Gaza City. So this, of course, is all coming with the military invasion of Gaza City that has begun. Israel's also suffered a few losses in this new operation to go into Gaza City. Gaza City is like really a booby-trapped, urban, dense city. Had 1 million residents, which is half the population of the Strip, until they were evacuated. I think now something like 700,000 people have evacuated. Okay, so
Something turned out to be.
let me read on. Point number 5. Once the hostages are returned, Israel will free several hundred Palestinian prisoners serving life sentences, which, by the way, that means they probably committed acts of terror or were involved. And over 1,000 Gazans arrested since the start of the war, along with the bodies of several hundred Palestinians. Okay. Once the hostages are returned, Hamas members who commit to peaceful coexistence will be granted amnesty. That sounds like saying you're sorry to a head of state or something. Okay, like, yeah, we commit to peaceful coexistence. How do you prove that? How do you prove that? Okay, well, members who wish to leave the strip will be granted safe passage to receiving countries. Okay, but then what? Okay, once this agreement is reached, aid will surge into the strip at rates no lower than the benchmark set. Okay, also, so the humanitarian aid will go in. This time it probably won't be stopped by Hamas, though. I think that would also be crucial. All right, and number 8, aid will be distributed without interference from either side by the United Nations and Red Crescent. Red Crescent is the Palestinian or maybe Islamic version of the Red Cross, like, because crescent is the Muslim symbol. Okay, so Gaza will be administered by a temporary transitional government of Palestinian technocrats who will be responsible for providing day-to-day services for the people of the Strip. This committee will be supervised by a new international body established by the U.S. in consultation with Arab and European partners. It will establish a framework for funding the redevelopment of Gaza. The Palestinian Authority has completed until the Palestinian Authority has completed its. So he's saying that Palestinian Authority has to go undergo reform. I guess for one would be elections. So we'll see what happens there.
Too many lives are at stake not to try, and this was more than a try. I mean, I think this is something that
All right, let's see. So Tony Blair's name is mentioned here as well. Oh, and Tony Blair has been working, according to this article, Times of Israel, with senior advisor Jared Kushner, with Witkoff. Okay, so an economic plan will be created to rebuild Gaza. An economic zone will be established with reduced tariffs. So is this like an economic thing? No one will be forced to leave Gaza, but those who choose to leave will be allowed to return. That's actually crucial. Gazans will be encouraged to remain in the Strip. Very interesting. That's a little bit of a turn of events here. Hamas will have no role in Gaza's governance whatsoever. There will be a commitment to destroy and stop building any offensive military infrastructure, including tunnels. Right. Still haven't probably found them all. Okay. Security guarantee will be provided by the regional partners to ensure that Hamas and other Gaza factions comply with their obligations. The U.S. will work with Arab and other international partners to develop a temporary international stabilization force that will immediately deploy in Gaza to oversee security in the Strip. All right, Israel will not occupy or annex Gaza. The IDF will gradually hand over territory. If Hamas delays or rejects this proposal, the above points will proceed in terror-free areas. Netanyahu's up. We're at point 17. I'm going to leave it for now.
First, I want to thank you for graciously
You can go to bed.
once again in the White House.
Oh, there it is.
And second, I
How
want to
many?
thank you
The
for-
door.
How many people?
for your
The
friendship
door, Raya.
and for your leadership.
No, I put it on the
From
card.
Jerusalem to Tehran.
Okay, here you go. Wait, let
from
me
the
stop
Golan Heights
sharing
to
this.
Gaza. You've proven time and again what I've said many times,
Again, it's blurry. Gotta fix the camera.
that Israel has ever had in the White House.
All right, so now it's Netanyahu's turn. And so far, it's, thank you, Trump. You're the best friend Israel ever had in the White House.
I'm making America great again.
Making America
Your
great
leadership
again.
abroad
Just making sure my stuff is the California batata and edamame.
But you have to share that edamame with me.
I believe that today
Okay, what's
Critical step towards both ending the war in Gaza
again? It's not
and setting the stage
a done deal. He said we've taken a critical step. Now,
and beyond regions in very important Muslim countries. I support your plan to
he
end the war in Gaza,
publicly is supporting
which
Trump's
achieves
plan.
our warning.
This is Netanyahu. He said that it's not the California
Can I have
Protector.
it?
All our
You can have some of it, yeah.
dismantle Hamas's
tell
military
Daniel.
capabilities and its political rule.
So he's talking about the Israeli points are to demilitarize Hamas and end their military rule, and to make sure that Gaza never again poses a threat to Israel.
Without the courage and sacrifice
And
of our incredibly brave soldiers.
so he's so
They fight like lions
praising the
to
soldiers.
defend the people of Israel.
He said they fight like lions, which, by the way, is the name of the operation. Am Kalavi, people rising up like a lion.
Barbarism. Mr. President, when our two countries stand shoulder to shoulder,
Waiting.
we achieve the impossible. Just a few months ago, in Operation Rising Lion,
Operation Rising Lion.
Hammer,
Okay.
we struck a decisive
He's talking about
against
Iran when the 12-day war when they struck Iran, and he's saying we worked together to do that.
to send those B-2s made the region safer and the world safer.
And he's saying it made the world safer by doing
We're
this.
taking the next step
This
to
is
win the war and expand the peace. Your plan is consistent with the 5 principles my government set for the end of the war and the day after Hamas.
okay. So he's saying that the plan is consistent with his government, with his government's plan.
All our hostages,
Speaking of his government,
those who are alive
his
and
main,
those who died,
one of his main peers in the government, the one in the parties, one of the main parties, the head of the parties, it criticized him for apologizing to Qatar.
security responsibilities,
So
including the security for
his government, Netanyahu's government, may not be on board with this plan,
Gaza
which
will have a
means
peaceful
it
civilian
may
administration
threaten his
that is
coalition.
not led by Hamas,
But I'm sure he's worked that out already. All this is worked out,
If Hamas agrees
you
to
know,
your plan,
except for Hamas, it's all worked out.
the first step will be a modest withdrawal, followed by the release
So
of
he's
all
now
hostages
saying,
within
he's
72
basically
hours.
reiterating the terms
The
of the
next
deal
step
that
will
he
be
agreed to,
establishing
that
an international
if
body
Hamas agrees,
charged with
like,
fully
and the
disarming
hostages
Hamas
are
and
returned,
demilitarizing
that
Gaza.
Israel will start to withdraw in stages. Okay, Penny Ann is asking, how is Hamas responding? They're not responding yet. They haven't responded yet. I'm going to check if there's anything new from them.
The confidence that this will give everyone.
No, I don't think they have responded yet. So that's the thing. But I was saying before that Qatar is very key to this, to pressure Hamas to get them to accept this. There's a few countries, and also they're offering Hamas amnesty and the ability to leave. And what's the word? They have to agree to what was the word that I'm sorry, let me look this up. If they're repentant, something like that.
Something that will achieve all our war objectives without any
Mom, they only
further
gave us
bloodshed.
soy sauce.
No, what? I ordered everything. I ordered a million different things. No, come on.
Then basically do everything to counter it. That Israel will finish the job
Okay.
by itself. This can be done.
Oh, I missed
the
that
easy way,
part right before that.
or it can be done the hard way.
The easy way or the hard
But it
way?
will be done. We prefer the easy way, but it has to be done. All these goals must be achieved because we didn't fight this horrible fight. Sacrifice.
Okay, so he's saying this is not going to be for nothing.
To let Hamas stay in Gaza and threaten us again and again and again.
Now you said we're not going to stand for a threat like this again.
Mr. President, I was encouraged by your clear statement at the UN against the recognition of a Palestinian
Okay,
state.
he's
That would be
thanking
after-
him for being
after
against the
47,
recognition of a Palestinian state. He's thanking
undermine security,
Trump for that.
and endanger Israel's very existence.
Oh yes, Hamas. I'm sorry, this is what I was trying to find. Hamas members who commit to peaceful coexistence will be granted amnesty. I was just like, oh yeah, I commit to that. Like, you know, how do you trust?
In your 2020 peace plan that you mentioned just now, you made clear what that transformation requires.
Okay, and now they're talking about
It's not checking a box.
the
It's a
true
fundamental,
transformation,
genuine, and enduring transformation.
but
That means ending pay to slave, changing.
he's talking about now how the Palestinian Authority will reform itself, like the reforms it has to undergo in order to become a state that, you know, actually recognized. And of course that's going to be a whole other topic, because he's saying like, and the paid to slave program, which is like you get paid by the Palestinian government if you you know, commit terrorism, and also like recognize Israel as the Jewish state, and that of course being a key Israeli sticking point. So Penny, it's not even just peaceful coexistence with Hamas. It's if Hamas says, oh yeah, we agreed to peaceful coexistence, that they'll be like, oh yeah, okay. You get like, I want to see, like, there's got to be more like details there that are not in this very, you know, this 21 points. Like, what does it mean? Oh, and now Netanyahu's talking about re-energizing the Abraham Accords, but he said it. He said Abraham in Hebrew, and so he's like, "Oh yeah, Abraham." Anyway,
we can expand them to many more Arab and Muslim nations that choose moderation over extremism. I think there's an opportunity here.
There's an opportunity for nations that choose.
If you succeed, you're absolutely right. We're going to open possibilities.
That want to choose these opportunities, and moderation. So it's a very low key. This is a very low key press conference. I mean, it really took the wind out of the sails, I would say, of people who were expecting an agreement tonight. Like literally, a lot of people were. I mean, I would say the country was just this feeling of the war might be over tomorrow. Doesn't look like that now.
Those who attack us pay a heavy price. But those who partnered with us advance progress and security for the people. President Trump just said it. It's also in the Bible. It says, those who will bless you will be blessed.
It's pulling out the Genesis 12:3. Those who bless you will be blessed, and those who curse you will be cursed. Talking about Israel. So,
not finished, but we've done a lot. We've done a lot together to end the curse.
So he's saying we've done a lot to end the curse together. Anyway.
I especially want to thank Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner.
So another thing about this deal is that it was negotiated from the White House, as opposed to in Doha or Cairo, which is where it had been up to this point. Like you had Israeli and Hamas delegations shuttling to those cities to discuss a possible deal. So this is interesting because it's actually all originating in the White House. Like, not to say that they didn't have anything, like America was fully involved in it. Steve Witkoff has been fully involved from the beginning, but the fact that the deal is being made now in the White House is different. However, that being said, okay, thank you. That being said, we're not getting a deal tonight. We're getting the points of a proposed deal, and yet we don't know what the Hamas response will be. So meanwhile, as everybody was anticipating this happening, the hostages' families were out in rallying in 3 different locations in New York, or Washington, actually, sorry, in lieu of this press conference, in Tel Aviv and in Jerusalem. So they were out saying, like, you know, we've been through this before. This has happened. Don't get us disappointed. Don't get our hopes up. But if this deal goes through, it's not going to be a slow letting, you know, releasing of hostages over a couple of weeks, or you know, one at a time. It's going to be everybody at once. And mind you, Hamas did say that they lost contact with two hostages, and they named them. One is a father of 2 young girls. That's not confirmed. That's just what Hamas said, by the way. Now it's questions and from the reporters.
They're not very good ones. They're very bad for our country. So we'll see how that works out. But this is something that was really historic today. This was something that was amazing. I think, Bibi, I mean, depending on you, I think while we're waiting for signatures and waiting for approvals from a lot of different countries that are involved in this, we probably shouldn't take questions. Or would you like to take a question or two from perhaps a friendly Israeli reporter, if there's such a thing?
That's a very tough proposition.
Trump just said, should we take questions or should we not? And then he said, do you want to take a question from a very friendly Israeli reporter, if there is such a thing? And Netanyahu coughed. And he said, that's a tough proposition. Yeah, they're not taking questions. There they go. And they're yelling the questions anyway. All right, so what do you guys think? Lucas, what do you think?
I'm hungry.
Go eat.
No, I'm waiting for you.
You're waiting for me. Okay, wait. Here, let's get the first Israeli analysis. Let's see.
המוסכם גם על ידי ישראל ועל ידי ראש ממשלת ישראל, יש כל כך הרבה שאלות שצריכות להישאל. הציבור בכל העולם, לא רק הציבור הישראלי, משווע לתשובות, ושני האנשים האלה מסרבים לקחת שאלות.
Yeah, there's still so many questions, and these two are refusing to answer them. All right, here's let's see what channel 12, get the update right there. Oh, JD Vance is at the press conference. The vice president. Yeah, it was at the White House. Okay, Penny Ann says the world needs it over. Yep, as Americans that support Israel, we are feeling that hate and tension as we walk the Camino de Santiago across Spain. Wow. Yep, pro-Palestine flags, graffiti, the hate comments toward Trump. It's troublesome. Unfortunately, there is not a decision made, and a new dawn rising tomorrow. Yeah. Right. So yeah, I mean, most, you know, interestingly enough, while the world blames Israel and, you know, said for what it's doing, many Israelis are against the war as well. So it's a bit of a conundrum, you know, to also have to pay the price for like a war you don't support. But yeah, so anyway, so that's interesting.
והנשיא טראמפ, כמו שהוא אומר, ביקשו ממני, יהיה כאן כדי לפקח. הרבה מאוד סימני שאלה, אבל כותרת אחת גדולה, אופק חדש למזרח התיכון.
Okay, so she said, for her takeaway, that there's a new horizon for the Middle East, or the Middle East is about to see like a new horizon. And so, though there are a lot of unanswered questions about this deal, which is not made.
כן, תקרא לזה שאתה רוצה.
גם היכולות הצבאיות של החמאס.
let's see.
אבל יתחיל מחדש. אוקיי. לממשלה הזאת היו 3 מטרות עיקריות. 1, החזרת כל החטופים. 2, סיום שלטון חמאס. ו3, השלטון שיש שם לא יהיה של הרשות הפלסטינית. 3 המטרות האלה מושגות בהסכם הזה.
Okay, so Amit Segal says that the three goals of the Israeli government were that the return of the hostages, the demilitarization of Hamas, and that the Palestinian Authority does not run the strip. And he said these 3 points are taken care of in this agreement, if it's agreed upon. So this present. Go ahead and eat. Gosh, I'm gonna have to go. All right. I mean, look, there's not much else to say. Suffice it to say, we're getting close to. We're on the path to hunger over here. This one says, it's been almost 2 years since October 7th, since this all started. And something interesting that I've just noticed is that there are yellow flags, new yellow flags all over the city. They're put like on street lamps and stuff. And there's brand new yellow flags, and yellow is the color associated with the hostages. And I was pretty amazed that they were put up, because it seems that that would be the government would put them up, and a lot of the hostages rallies are against the government. So I don't know what's happening with that, but I just I just drive around. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of yellow flags, and they're new. So that's very interesting. And like I said, all of this is happening on the heels of the General Assembly. Netanyahu didn't even come back to Israel. He just stayed there and continued these meetings. So anyway, all of this is, just very interesting to see what is going to happen. It looks like now that Netanyahu was able to stand next to Trump and be very public about his support for this plan, that it really is going to be on Hamas to agree or not agree. And then it will be very decisively, like the ball is very decisively in their court. And this was like a big public statement. So then the other question is, will Hamas keep its word? Will Israel, also keep its word in terms of like the withdrawing? But I think the most important thing from this, probably a lot of people would agree, is that the hostages be released, including there's living and deceased hostages, but they will be released within 3 days of this agreement being made. So anyway, so that if that happens, like if Hamas answers, which obviously like they should be answering any time now, right? We're all waiting. Thank you.
I'm going back.
All right, I'll be off in a second, and then I'll say a proper good night. So if that's the case, then Brian says good night. Then this could all be unfolding in the next couple days. And the next couple days are also another, it's not a holiday, it's a holy day, Yom Kippur. That'll be happening very soon. So anyway, that's starts Tuesday, Wednesday night to Thursday. It takes up all day Wednesday and Thursday, and that is like the Day of Atonement. Anyway, okay, and also shout out to Shirley. Hi, thank you for joining. And Penny, thank you for your observation. It was and Terry, Emily, Kim, Jacob. See you soon. If you're not catching this live anyway, put a comment because I would love to know what you guys think, because like this might be big. I was thinking it was going to be big. It's a little less big than I thought it was going to be. Until it's signed, we don't want to get excited. Okay. Anyway, thank you for joining, and check back because it might be a big week. It might be. Anyway, we do at least need an answer if this is going to happen or not.